Mr. Darrell, can y'all see the picture of the state of Louisiana with some red dots on it on my screen?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay. All right. So this is a visual representation of where you guys are at as a contest. The Dutchtown team scratched today. So that red dot in the Ascension Parish area, they're not going to compete. So what we got is we got a couple kids in Ouachita, Darbone. I'm not sure exactly where Darbone was at, but I think that's pretty close. Let's see, somebody's probably Towns trying to get in right there. Nope. We got Sabine Pierce is Darrell. EBARB registered a no-name team, Darrell, but I don't know. Benny's retired. I talked to Samantha today. She didn't mention anything. I don't know if there'll be anybody coming from EBARB or not. Do you know?
I don't know if there will or not. There, we can see the picture though too.
Okay, so I put a dot there for EBARB, but I don't even know if he's going to have a team. Mr. Ward there at the Boyles, Lawrence Fontenot, which I don't see anybody in here for Lawrence. His supervisor is going to help him out with running the technology, and then Thibodeau down at Crowley, Paul Terry at West Feliciana, and Everett, you guys, I guess you and McKenzie will be working that one at Franklinton. Here's what we come up with for board delivery. I think that's the only real logistical thing we need to work out. And Wes, I know your team, you're going to be on vacation and your team's working from home. So what me and Jason talked about yesterday is getting the boards to the Ouachita and Darbone kids to get it to the lodge. I don't know, Wes, if it's Monroe or West Monroe. I know you got a relationship with those guys, but getting it delivered to their lodge that afternoon. We should finish the contest around 3 o'clock, 3:30, and they can put their boards in the truck and bring them to the lodge. And they're going to take a picture of that board before they deliver it. So if any paths change, we'll be able to pick up on that. If something rattles loose, we'll be able to fix it for them. So if you put it in the truck and drive it and say a switch comes loose or something, we'll have a picture to show that that switch was actually hooked up correctly whenever it left. And I'll give them my cell phone number and they can text me those pictures. I'll ask them to take a picture of several different things, an up close picture and a picture, just of the overall. So we'll take a picture of the breaker box. We'll take a picture of the junction box, and we'll back up and take a picture of the overall board. But I'll walk them through that process as we go. Peyton, you and Ryan and Mr. Darrell, y'all can meet me. Darrell, you can come over on 28. Ryan, y'all can come south. You could probably just drop it off at my house quicker than anything. Mr. Riley, you and Peyton. Mr. Darrell, I'll meet you somewhere out by Coattail Lake. That should be halfway for both of us. That afternoon, and then I'm going to call Lawrence. I'll probably get Mr. Ward, if you can meet me on my way back somewhere in Alexandria. I'll bring them down to Lake Charles the next day, and I'll talk to Adam Thibodeau. He's not in here. I'll talk to him separately, and I'll pick his up. Everett, if you guys can get it to Mickey there at the lodge in Franklinton, or if y'all can talk Mickey into coming to the school and picking it up that afternoon, that'd be fine. And then all we got to do is get Paul Terrio to deliver his to Jason's lodge in Baton Rouge. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get them all delivered. I'm going to bring them to Lake Charles. The ones west that your kids drop off will get delivered to Baton Rouge, or they will get together and make sure the same judge, either they're going to bring them to Baton Rouge or they're going to do a road trip and judge them all. But they assured me all the boards will get judged by the same judge, by the IBEW. And with the contest being Wednesday of next week, we're not doing results until August with convention. They've got time to judge them correctly. They're not rushed for time to get them judged so y'all can put them back in your truck and drive home. They've got time to focus and really spend some time with it. I told them if they can get it back to the FFA office that we would get your boards back to you in a timely fashion. This fall, or latest would be the winter when we do LDEs. We'll be delivering electricity boards back to you. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and go back to the chat bar over here. Yesterday, we copied and pasted the scorecard into the chat bar. All the kids click on that link and the scorecard pops up on their screen. It's beautiful, beautiful what you can do with technology today. I will show you, I'll share my screen. Work, that's not what I want to do. What's showing up on the screen right now? Is it Microsoft Teams or is it that email with the picture of the state?
Microsoft Teams is what's on
Okay.
the screen now.
Okay, that's what I want to know. So I'll go over here to the chat bar and show you guys. Down here in this chat bar, I'm going to open up this assessment, and this is a mock assessment. It's fake. It's just something we made up for demonstration purposes, but I'll show you just how easy this is with this technology. When I click this and put it in the chat bar, your kids will go to the chat bar. I think the chat bar may be disabled for you guys, but it says conversation or hide conversation. If you'll click on that, that's what pops up in your browser. It goes straight to the test. They'll put in their answer. When they put their name, it'll actually be a question they'll have to answer and tell us their name, tell us their chapter, blue or gold chapter, and then it'll go right into the questions. I'm not sure if that's showing up on the screen or not. It's showing up on my screen. So that's the process of distributing the exam. I'd like to do the exam first, and I want to show you a picture from yesterday's contest of the exam sharing. Some of you have already seen this several times today, but I want to show it. I don't think Wes has. And Wes, you need to share this with your folks so you can enjoy your vacation. I want to be able to see their hands and their screen. This first picture is exactly what I want to see if we're doing multiple people with electricity. We're only doing one kid, so really, if you can see this picture, I can see each kid's hand and their screen, and that is the best monitoring angle that we have developed so far as preventing a kid looking up answers on his phone or somebody feeding him answers. I don't think that's going to be an issue with the caliber of people that we're dealing with in Ag Ed, but we want to do everything we can to make sure there's some fidelity there. I will stop sharing my screen. I can't think of any other instructions for you guys, so I'm just going to mute my microphone and field any questions you might have.
Hey, Doc, this is Peyton. I got a quick question. Our boards are on legs. Is it all right after the contest that we take them off the legs to transport them?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And can your board stand up on a folding table if we just bring it to the lodge without legs at all? Can they throw it up on the table and judge?
Yes,
Yeah, so that would keep them from having to put it back together at the lodge.
Right.
Yeah,
Right,
I don't have any problem. There's no advantage there. I don't have any problem with that.
Eric.
Yeah.
So coming from Monroe, they're either going to go to Lake Charles or Baton Rouge. Which one?
See, Jason's got to call some of his folks and figure that out. Whether they may log into a software, Cliff, I'm sure all of you met Cliff. I have asked them to judge them in person to help get them shuttled down to Baton Rouge or get their guy in a car and go to each lodge and judge them separately. But I've kind of left it open since they support us a lot financially and with these contests. I've kind of left it up to them how they want to judge it, Wes. So I don't know if we're going to haul it all the way to Baton Rouge or not.
Okay. Well, I talked to one of the guys over there today and told him it was a possibility that we'd be dropping ours off.
Yeah.
And I hadn't talked to Chad yet, but like I said, they were all they said, you give us a location. They may even do what they can to get them wherever that location is going to be that you're going to judge. I told them that you and I were talking to the possibility of Lake Charles, but I wasn't sure.
They're all in. They're all in on doing it right. They know the time you guys put in. They respect that. They're not going to do a halfway job, but they may log in their own Microsoft Teams meeting and Cliff may tell the guy in Lake Charles, all right, take a tester out and put it on this and put it on that. I think the technology's there for them to do that, but they may also get together and bring them all to one lodge. I'm not sure. I'm just not sure, Wes. It's hard for me to tell them what to do when they do so much for us. So I'm just going to trust that they're going to judge it the right way.
Okay. And so you said they need to drop them off somewhere by 4 o'clock that day?
Well, contest starts at 1. I got a couple phone calls to make sure that lodge is going to be open. Somebody's going to be waiting on you. But yeah, the idea is they'll deliver it that day. We don't want it to sit in a department overnight, nothing like that. We want to at least get it in my possession or in the lodge's possession that afternoon, if possible.
Okay.
If that changes, I'll let you know. If that guy's just not going to be there that day or has an emergency and has to leave, I'll let you know. Right now, the plan is, how far do you kids live away from that lodge?
Probably 20 minutes.
Okay, so if we finished at 4, which is very doable. I mean, we're taking a test and running a pro. I know the time has been extended on the rules, but I mean, these guys don't normally take more than 45 minutes to an hour to finish the wiring. Tests take 30 minutes. So if we start at 1, we're more than likely done by 3.
Okay.
And we'll get it to the lodge.
What about our diagram there? How are we going to submit that to you?
Yep. So you're going to hold it up to the screen, and I'm going to take a picture of it with this computer. I can take a picture of your diagram. So if you were to, right now, if you were to Wes, you had a camera on your laptop, so turn your camera on and put a piece of paper up to the screen.
Okay.
Just anything. Daryl, put a piece of paper up there.
There you go.
Something that covers it up where I could actually read it. I can't read what you got, and y'all are splitting screen. So, Wes, mute your. Yeah, there. See, I can read that. There you go. There's words there. So I can take this tool I got on my computer here. Give me 2 seconds. Hold it. I hadn't got my tool up. I can snip that. I know y'all can't see my screen, but I got a little doodad here on my computer that allow me to do this. Copy it. All right, y'all can put them down. And I'm going to put it on my Word doc here. Paste. All right, let me go back and share my screen with you. And I'm going to share, this is a Word document. This is where I snipped Wes's paper just a second ago off the screen. And it's the same tool I used to take these pictures of these kids yesterday. Can y'all see the Word document with pictures? Wes, can y'all see the Ouachita Pair Schools?
I got it.
Yes.
So we'll take a snippet. That's called a snippet tool. I'll take a snippet of your papers, and then you will turn the papers in with the board, and we will compare the picture I took with the paper that you turned in to make sure no funny business went on. Does that make sense? So your kids, Wes, at home, they'll need capability on their laptop to hold that piece of paper up to that camera so I can take a picture of it. And they'll also need to monitor themselves with an extra device, kind of like that picture I showed you earlier, that kid in Alaska yesterday. Kid in Alaska yesterday had a laptop for the test, and he logged in with his smartphone and just logged into the same thing, Microsoft Teams, the same room, and set it off to the side where I could see his hands and his screen.
Yeah, that's what I told mine to do, is just have a laptop and just have the phone while they were doing everything, the way they could see what they were doing.
And they can take the phone or the laptop and put it over that paper, and I'll talk to them on the screen when they're done. After everybody finishes, we'll take a break, and I'll say, put it over your paper and let me take a snippet of it. And once I get everybody's snippet, then they can move on. Now, y'all enlighten me. Are they allowed in normal contests to wire the board with the paper on their board, or they're supposed to turn it in?
It depends on the contest.
Okay.
Depends on the judge, usually.
Yeah, some do, some don't.
Well, if it's a some do, some don't, then just I say we go ahead and let them use their paper, because they're gonna have access to it anyway. It'd be kind of hard to police them not using it. It'd be easier just to allow it. So let's go ahead and make that announcement now that they can wire their board according to the diagram that they got in front of them.
Yeah. Are you going to basically you're gonna run the watch on them?
Yeah, I'll run a watch on the and that does come into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, because you need that time is going to be the third tiebreaker.
Yep.
So you'll need to have times recorded on it, and I guess the main thing would be is, are you going to like say, all right, you're at 30 minutes or you're at 45 minutes, I'll let them go, and then time's up. What?
Well, I'm gonna have the IBW in here with me, and they've run this a couple times. I have never ran one. I've competed in a bunch of them, so I'm gonna follow the rules. Daryl, I found that change in 2017. I talked to Carlino.
Yeah.
I found that's official. So we'll go by the rules that were updated in 2017. They get. Tell me how long they get. I'm gonna look it up again, but just
75 minutes on the wiring.
Yeah.
To wire.
Yes.
And that's what we call time. This drop dead at 75.
Yeah.
How long do they have to draw?
15.
I think it's 25, isn't it, Wes?
It's either 15 or 25. I can't remember.
I think we extended it that too, maybe 10 minutes. I don't have the stuff here.
I'll look it up. I'll look it up. But those two times are not inclusive. Like they're separate, right?
Yeah.
Yes, they're separate.
Yeah, you just do it. You do it in three phases. They can do the test and the drawing, and they'll do the problem.
Okay, so that's what we'll do the test, and we'll do the drawing. And what I told them to do, I don't know if y'all can use the hand raise function today. I don't know if I've got it turned off or not. But what I told them to do when they're finished with their test, raise their hand. And that's how I know when people are finished with the exam and with the drawing. That's the best I can make out of a bad situation with a remote electricity contest. I know the IBW is going to honor the scholarship. They're going to offer it to the first place kid. If he doesn't want it, they're going to offer it to the second place kid. If he doesn't want it, they're going to go down until somebody accepts that apprenticeship. And I know the kid that accepted it last year has done an extremely good job for him. He's been employed with them since, basically the day he graduated high school. He's one of their exemplary apprentices, so they see the value in doing a good job with this contest, and they're excited about doing it and doing it right. So anytime we got somebody that's that committed to doing it right, I feel pretty good about our chances of having a good experience for our kids. Is anybody else doing this at home, or the rest of you got kids coming into your shop? I know Wes had called me about kids doing it from home last week.
I'm going to have both of my students that are going to be in the main office, main part of the school. That way I can get good internet access there. And I'm going to have one of our computer persons there's going to be doing the video and everything for me.
Okay, sure. All right. And then if somebody's videoing the kid, the other kids can't see it, because it's not like agronomy where they're sitting behind a computer and taking the exam. These kids are standing in front of a board, and they're just getting monitored by a computer. So if they take their paper over to me and hold it up, it's not like other people can see their paper, because everybody else is working. So when kids are working on their diagram, I don't want them sitting behind a computer screen where they can see what other kids are showing me on that screen. And I'll work with them on that that day. The rest of you got internet in your shops or somewhere in your schools. I think that's a good situation to do it at the school where the teacher can kind of supervise for safety.
Hey,
yeah.
Ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You want, how about this for an idea? When they turn their drawing in, why don't you just tell them what their time is, and they can write it up on the paper there.
That's
and
good.
Then when you screenshot that drawing, you'll have the time on there. So if it does come down and you need it on that third tiebreaker, you got it all on your photo.
Should I just run a non-stop watch, and then when they show it to me, I pick a time?
Yeah.
Or will I need to actually get 3 or 4 stopwatches where I can stop the time?
Or you can you can do like you do small engines, just have you 1 running or 2 running, and then just put your lap button, and then just have your master running. When it hits 1:15, game over.
Yeah, just document that time and then start it back up again.
Yeah, and just tell him when he calls time, you're done. 3 minutes and 27 seconds. Write that on the paper and wherever you want to tell him to put it. And that way, when you get a screenshot of it, you got it recorded.
Everett, I know you guys run Area 4 a lot. Jeremy's ran the state contest. Daryl, will y'all all remind me of that Wednesday before we start? I'm going to open the room up an hour early, and that gives me time to get my stuff together because I'm running one of these per day, a different contest every day. And something's going to slip by me, but I'm going to depend on y'all to remind me what I need, in that hour between 12 and 1 o'clock before we start. Don't forget to tell me about the time situation so I'm not scrambling when we start.
Are we gonna all start our wiring at the same exact time, or are we gonna?
I don't see why we can't. I don't see why we can't put the problem in the chat bar and tell them to draw. And then when the last person turns in the draw, and give them a break to get their stuff set up, and then start them at the same time. That's about the only way I can keep up with that time fairly.
Yes, that'd be the easiest way, rather than people starting it at different timing. It'd be best just for everybody to start at the same time.
I gave out agronomy kids that test yesterday, and it's a 30-minute limit, and some of them finished in 5 minutes, and I sat there and saw them on screen for 25. They was struggling to just sit there, but that's part of it sometimes. I mean, we'll just wait till the last person finishes or time runs out, and then we'll start the next part. But if they finish early, I'm not going to make them sit there for 30 minutes on that exam. Most of these electricity kids are probably going to finish that exam in about 3 minutes, and 3 to 5, 10 minutes, and we'll move on to the next part. Anybody else got any other questions or see any other holes I need to fill before next Wednesday?
So as soon as we get through with our wiring, we're going to pack that board up, and we're going to either go to IBW, meet you, or whatever.
Yeah, just plan to meet me at that big gas station. What is that, 28 West? I can go on 28 West toward Leesville.
Uh-huh.
And I think me and you would meet up at that big new,
Where do you live? It'd be faster for me coming 49.
I live over here in Grant Parish, closer to Ellick.
Okay, I mean, I don't come 28.
All right, well, I could meet you on 49, and I don't know. I could call you. We can meet halfway. We can figure that out on our way north. I could go 49 north.
Coming all the way, that's not a problem there. I don't want to go to 28 there. I'd have to turn and go back down.
That's fine. I was trying to find a way to get wards to, if I go that direction, I can pick up Ward Bordelon's board. But could y'all possibly meet the Winfield guys at the interstate and they bring it down?
Yeah.
And I could go down. I could make a loop in South Louisiana and pick up Mr. Bordelon's and run over to Allen Parish and pick up Lawrence's.
We'll do whatever we got to do.
All right, Peyton, I know that's a little bit out y'all's way, but could y'all help me out and maybe get with Daryl and pick up his board and bring it down?
Yeah, I'll call Mr. Darrell and we'll pick up set a time and date. Time and place to pick it up.
Yeah,
just get it. You just want them to brought to your house?
Yep, just drop it off underneath my porch, and I'll make a loop, Mr. Bordelon. I'll make a loop down south and maybe meet you at LSUA, and then I'll cut across Camp Claiborne or somewhere in there and go to Allen Parish and pick up Thibodeau's and Lawrence's, and that should round us out. All right, so I'm going to stop the recording on this, and that way I can